Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the possible potential for you having mold in your paintbrush. So recently I was on Facebook reading kind of through some posts, and a guy named Adam who runs Masters of the Forge had made a post about, hey, I know a way to keep mold out of your wet palette. And so of course I was obviously intrigued because I've never seen mold in my wet palette, so I'm wondering what other people are doing wrong to get mold in their wet palette. But apparently if you leave it long enough, it can become moldy. Any wet surface is eventually going to have some sort of bacteria or something move into it where that's going to happen. But he was like, hey, we can put copper pennies in there and it won't ever happen again because copper is a natural antibacterial substance. But someone refuted him by saying, hey, copper pennies haven't been in production since, the 1960s or something like that. So basically, I didn't think anything of it at the time. I just read through it. It's like, hey, that's a good idea, but I guess it's something I need to watch out for. But I've never seen mold in mine, so no big deal. So this morning, I was sitting down at my painting station, opened up my box, and I was really looking at my paint for some reason. And I noticed the paper towel out around the cookie cutter sheet, the little baker sheet that you put in there on top of the paper towel. And the paper towel was all speckly. And in my mind, I had always thought this was maybe run over ink or dye or whatever from the paint pigment that had kind of gotten in there and maybe rose into the top as it dried in the paper towel and maybe just kind of stuck there. I don't know. I just had never thought anything of it. And so recently, this is where the paintbrush ties in, I had started kind of picking up on licking my brush. It was an easier way than going and flicking it in the water every 2 seconds, and it keeps a nice fine point. So I was like, oh no, please God no. And all I've ever done before is waited till it basically dried out, threw the little cookie cutter sheet away, put more water in there, drained off the excess, put a new cookie cutter sheet in there, and then you're good to go. So I was like, oh no, because since I had started licking my brush and I picked that paper towel up and it was all slimy and nasty underneath, and I probably haven't changed it in upwards of 3+ months. So that was a fun experience to come across. So I definitely went upstairs and washed it out with some soap and hot water and threw all the paper towel, all that stuff away and got it all replaced. But at the end of the day, you're going to need to replace that paper towel probably once a week or once every 2 weeks at the most. I'd keep an eye on it, and if you start seeing little black or brown or gray colored speckles around the edges of the paper towel, maybe check underneath from time to time. And I'm hoping that it kind of kept the little wax paper that I put in there, kept the mold from being on it. But I mean, it was like in a contained surface with the air flowing around inside there, and the water kind of seeps up from underneath into the cookie cutter sheet because it is porous a little bit. That's how you keep your paints moist. So I'm like, I've been dipping my brush in that, using just the tip and painting a little bit until I run out of paint, lick my brush and give the next little bit or whatever I'm doing. And so I've been sitting there licking that mold just the whole time, dude. It's so nasty. So make sure you're changing those out. Keep an eye out for that type of stuff. And I don't know, my paint licking days definitely might be over.